Peace, peace, peace. What is good, everybody? What is going on? It is me, the Joey Digital. Just wanted to say what is up, see what is good with you all. Hoping and wishing and praying that your day is as abundant and blessed as you all already are. I'm here. Got the lighting going on. It's a little bit of a glare. Got some power stones with me right now. Got some barite with the dragon face on it. You know what I mean? I got that going on. I got a smoky electrical quartz right here. You know, feeling good. You know, getting a lot of downloads. And I want to talk about something that I experienced the other day. All right. I've been having some very lucid dreams like the past 2 nights. And I don't know if it was because of the Mercury retrograde that we had the other evening or not. I don't know. That I don't know. But what I do know is that those dreams that I was having was super duper real. All right. Now, this could just be anybody's story, you know. But what I feel, you know, in other words, when I say that, I'm saying this as a transparency. You know, I feel super transparent when I share this. But I believe that when we are having dreams, we are experiencing life in a parallel universe. We are experiencing our life. We are experiencing us living our life in a parallel universe, all right? And a lot of us, we do a lot of amazing things, okay? And, you know, lately, I have actually been able to remember my dream longer than when I wake up, because usually when I wake up, I'll remember for like 2 or 3 minutes and then it'll just like vanish. By the way, shameless plug, I want to go ahead and plug my Love Your Life Zen Mastery Journal, okay? Because whenever you're having dreams, you definitely want to journal, okay? That's something I should have did the other day, all right? But neither here nor there. Amazon, it's over there. Worldwide shipping, it should be over there where you all are. Definitely go ahead and support that, okay? Yeah, so the reason why I'm speaking about the dreams and the dreams that I was having is that a lot of times when you have these dreams and you're experiencing life in a parallel universe, okay, when you bring it to your present life, when you bring the things that you learned into your present life, the messages, the passages, the insight, the motivation, inspiration, things of that nature, it's almost as if you are in a time portal, okay? And right now, it feels like this message, I'm not going to say, you know, what month. Of course, you know, like this month, it could be any month because this is like a timeless message, all right? However, this particular year, this month, doesn't feel like this month last year, all right? Go ahead and hit that like button. It definitely was a different vibe last year, and it's definitely a different vibe this year. And I always want to strongly suggest, always and forever, you know, we live in the present moment, okay? It's all about the present. And this particular month that we're in right now is very different, you know. I remember last year this time, it was a good feeling. It was a positive feeling. I felt like a lot more could happen for it to go from good to great. And I feel like 365 days later, this month, it's a confirmation. This month, in return, this month, which is a year from last year, it feels like I feel more empowered. Like I feel more empowered. I feel like we are all as a collective are experiencing being more empowered. We are feeling more in our power, inside of our power, as far as whether your decision making skills have to be present for you to do the next thing or the current thing, or your creative skills. You're very creative and, presently creative. You're very presently just you're alert for um, all of the discernment. That's what I want to say. Your discernment levels are very high as opposed to last year or maybe even the past several years. But I'm likening this message to last year because of the fact that it feels as if we are in a time portal, like we have just stepped out of a time portal. We're like in a newer reality, a different reality. Of course, in some aspects, the trees are in the same spot. The buildings, of course, the buildings are in the same spot, landmarks, so on and so forth. But it's just a different vibe, like I feel like us as a collective, because we've been doing so much work and we have taken off the rose colored glasses and we have begun to start really looking at reality the way it truly really is. We are able to move in Godspeed, like we're able to really move in Godspeed as far as like getting to our destination, getting to our victories, getting to our, you know, the our championship mode, like we're in championship mode. And right now I just got a vision of like Michael Jordan, how they used to have those videos of Michael Jordan. He'd be like in the locker room and he'd be getting, stretching, or like he'll be working with a stretching coach, or like just something like that. Like, like they'll be like this, or like their leg could be like this, or something like that. And it's just like a confidence that we are experiencing right now where it doesn't matter what's going on around us, like things could be going on. This could be ending, that could be beginning, all this type of stuff. And I just feel like the portal that we just stepped into, the portal that we stepped into last year, and the portal that we stepped out of, the same portal that we stepped out of now, we are in a space where we're positioning ourselves to really embody being in our freedom, whether it's financially or, you know, your expression, how you show up for yourself or for other people. Like you're really walking into being more liberated with what it is that you are presenting, you know, when you show up into a room or even when you're by yourself. So it's one of those feelings where you really feel it now. Like before, it was a wish. Before, it was like, you know, man, I wish this would happen sooner, But then it's like at the same time, you're like, well, I don't want to rush the universe. Everything happens in divine timing. But at the same time, it's kind of like I want things to just be lit. I want things to hurry up and be good, But I learned, especially like 2 days ago. 2 days ago, I woke up early, and I did my routine, everything like that, workout, brush your teeth, take a shower, all that type of stuff. Um, and for some reason or another, it took me a lot longer to get to my destination than it usually does. And this time last year, I would have panicked. I would have been like, "Oh my goodness," you know what I mean? "Oh my goodness, I ain't there yet." And you start beating yourself up about it. But I learned that this year, when I was observing myself, it just didn't matter, And the only thing I was telling myself in my mind is that, I'm not going to be late until I get there, you know. And I always tell myself, trust the process, and the universe or God is never on schedule, but is always on time. All right. So divine timing came to mind, And I just was relaxed. I was just very calm. Of course, over here on on the Ocean Experience, we practice our breathing techniques. We practice our box breathing. Where we breathe in 7 seconds, hold 7 seconds, breathe out 7 seconds, hold 7 seconds, and we do the cycle. And when you learn how to breathe lower, when you have a lower breathing strategy, you actually lower your stress hormones in your body. You actually train your body to be no stress, no low stress and no stress. And in time, you train your body to be that way. And every 20, I'll say every 26 days, every 26 to 31 days, your body does a full reset anyway. So we can literally take 1 month and really train ourselves to be a whole different version of who we showed up as previously. And I just remember feeling like I was a different version of myself, because any other time I would have been rushing, and I would have been flustered, or at least I'm telling myself I'm not. But you can't help how other people see. They could probably tell and be like, oh, he looks like he's rushing somewhere or something. And I just, like, lately I just been letting things flow. Go ahead and check out my video flow. It's in the list. It's in the list of my videos that I created. But I just been letting things flow, and I know that you have been letting things flow as well. I know that you have been definitely slowing down, especially now. Okay, I gotta say what month it is, but these are the holiday months. We just got finished coming out of a holiday month with um a holiday month before that. If and whether you celebrate or you don't celebrate, it's just the energy is always different during the holiday months. But these are the best months to practice keeping the low stress levels, and not only getting it down but keeping it down, because the true test is to how you keep it down, not making it go down, not making the stress levels go down, because anybody can make the stress levels go down. That's easy. There's plenty of videos on here where people show you how to get your stress levels low or your pressure low. But it's being able to maintain when life happens, and I know that you have been doing the work, especially throughout the whole year, and you knew these months was going to be pandemonium in the stores. Here in America, we have the Walmart and the Target, and especially down here we have the supermarkets like the Publix and the Winn-Dixie, and the there's so many other oh, trust me, I'm gonna remember when this video is off and I'm doing something else. I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, that's the name of that restaurant. I mean, supermarket, restaurant. Restaurants could be, hectic, and because you have been training yourself all year on how to not let things shake you at your core. Here we are. We're here. You're able to observe. You're able to not be a part of the pandemonium and the fantasticness that everybody's running around with right now, and everything is like you can just see it on them, and I don't mean to judge, listen, just trying to be super transparent, but like, you wish you could help everybody, but the best way you can help everybody is to help yourself. Get centered back in everything you experience, energy, positive, negative, neutral. It all goes back in, it transmutes, and it comes back in. It's positive. When we change our energy, whatever's going on is positive. We actually get more energy through observing, because you don't have to extend anything, and you don't have to disrupt whatever anyone else is going through, because believe it or not, everyone is on their journey. I always say that all the time, but I just want to say too, everyone is on their purpose, okay? And if you are in a calm state and the next person is not, and you change it for them, and but they want to be in chaos, they're kind of not in their purpose, because they work hard to want to be in chaos, and you working hard to want to be at ease. So I learned to just kind of like stay out of the way. I let like be out of the way and mind my business, watch as well as learn, observe, um, and take mental notes. And I know that that's what you all do, especially when you're in these high energy places, you know especially when you know where everything is and you know how to get to everything, but and again, I'm being transparent, but you find everything, in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but you're in line for 40 minutes. You know what I mean? And it's like, especially right now. So I love it. I look forward to it because I want to see how I react in those type of environments. Even though you don't set yourself up to be in an environment that's like that, it's just sometimes you can't always make a call on where you're gonna arrive at, and we don't want to just stay in the house all year. You know what I mean? We trying to get out the house and experience the world. And sometimes some parts of the world are, and other parts of the world are. So anyways, I'm speaking about portals because we have stepped out of a portal where we are in alignment with ourselves, and we have been able to slow down time. Go ahead and check out my video. I made another video about time continuum, slowing down the time continuum, and you're able to really be more calculated with decisions that you make, things that you do. You've even been able to, and I shout out to one of the people that I watch on YouTube. She was saying that you're even able to be very strategic with who you interact with, what you interact with. Just even down to the places that you decide to go. Even if you know that one place might be chaotic and another place may not be. You're just being very strategic with your energy, because you know that this is the breakthrough season. This season right here is your breakthrough season, where you're stepping out of that portal into your abundance, and you're stepping out of that portal into more rest. A lot of us are aging in reverse, like we starting to get young looking, like me. I just had a birthday last month, and I'm looking kind of, I feel good. I feel like I'm in my 20s. Y'all are too kind. I'll take it. If y'all think I'm in my 20s, I love y'all for that. I appreciate y'all, for real spill. So, because when you make a choice to not react to everything, you actually are not stressing your body. So when you're not in stress, you actually give your body time to heal. And when you're not overreacting and you're accepting everything for the way it is, you're not going back and forth with anything, with anyone. You just kind of hey, this is how I'm showing up. Y'all are entitled to do y'all. I'm going to do me. And in return, how the universe blesses you, how God blesses you, is you heal. So the first thing you do when you're not stressing out is your body heals. So you look, and you get more rest, or even if you don't get more rest, the rest that you do get is quality rest, and because you're not stressing. And then also too, you get to make decisions on things that are worth stressing about. Like, you get to decide, like, hey, look, you can actually alchemize the stress and say, no, it's not stress, but this is important. You could say, That's not a stressful situation, but this is important. This is important for me to pay attention to. The fear of it is motivating me to be more assertive about it, you know, and um, we're never embodying fear. It's just, as I said in one of my other videos as well, a lot of reference to my videos. Go ahead and check out my videos. But I was making a reference in one of my videos about how stress can be a catalyst for motivation, how it can, you know, you can take that energy and use it as if you, it's like you're almost becoming a rocket, like you're actually becoming that rocket without the rear view mirror, without the reversing it. You're going from point A to point B. There's no stops in between. You're fully gassed up. You're over there now, you know, rocket ship energy. And that's what I like to, when I'm encountered with fear, I always use it to say, oh, okay, something big is coming up. Whenever I'm in a situation where there's a lot of side eye, or there's a lot of people doing like this, or they you know, they do one of these to you, or they, you know, trigger alert. I'm not trying to trigger y'all, but you know how it is out here. You know, like you're just out here, you're operating at your greatest version, you're happy, you're in a good mood, and a lot of people, they're like what's he, you know, what she got going on. I want to, you know, what they all happy about. You know, when you're doing all of that, when you're dealing with all of that, um, I learned that that's usually a really good sign that a blessing is coming sooner than you think. You know, because the enemy, um, some call it the devil, others call it low vibrational energy. Low vibrational energy, or the devil or whatever, um, doesn't know anything about your journey or your destination. All it knows is that right now you have a blessing coming, and we're trying to stop you from getting there. And so that's usually my key indicator that something really big is coming on the horizon, especially on these too, for a lot of us out here that, you know, like um you're on these workplaces, you're at these workplaces, or you're at these stores shopping, doing last minute shopping sessions, or you're at these workplaces, and you just see like a lot of upheaval, or just a lot of like negativity, or you hear like some banter on the side over there, people talking, pointing, stuff like that. Usually it's because you have something coming into your life that nobody can stop. Nobody can stop what's coming into your life. And, you know, as Jeezy the rapper would say, he would say, when the lion ain't working, they start hating, you know. And both situations ain't gonna stop you, because you already stepping into your journey. I mean, your blessing. So none of those situations are gonna stop you, are gonna hinder you, you know. Because especially over here, I always teach y'all, I always show y'all that what you focus on grows. All right, you focus on positivity, positivity grows. What you get more of is you get more positive situations. When you focus on yourself, you grow. What do you get more of? You get more opportunities to focus on yourself, so that you can have more areas where you can grow at with yourself, you know. And we all know what happens when you focus on that negative energy. If they hating, if you focus on that, you actually become the energy that they feed off of. And now you bring in more negativity, more hating, more lying into your life, and where people are, you know, kind of like projecting. And the reality of the projection is that, you know, you can't help how people feel about you, but what they see is not what you see. What they see about you, the story that they're creating, you might be the bad guy, but to the people that love you, you're the hero, you're the champion. When you show up, they cheer, they're happy. You know, you don't get that type of stuff. So the reason why I'm talking about the portal is that you're stepping into a confidence. You're stepping out of that portal into a time a time space where you have that confidence where everything is beneath you. We all know plateaus, levels. A plateau is a level. It's like if you ever see those ancient ruins, they have like stairs that they built on the side of a mountain, and it's like patches of grass. They call those plateaus. You know, so like you're on a different plateau, you're on a higher plateau. So everything they're talking about down here doesn't resonate because you're not even, for one, you too high up here. You can't hear what they're talking about down there. You know, and plus you have your own stuff going on up here. You know, you worried, you're focused on your blessings, your abundance, your joy, loved ones that's loving on you, happiness, financial, you know, abundance. People clamoring to work with you. They want to work with you. You get a chance to. A lot of us are getting a chance to really get that rest. You're able to sleep in and do your morning routine, and then when you check your emails, people are bombarding you. Hey, we have offers. We want to offer you. We want to send you here. We want to do this. We want to partner. This and that. You know, so it's a lot of stuff going on up here. You know what I mean? There's a lot going on up here. It's a lot of winning going on up here. And the people that seeing you win, they want you to win because they're winning. They want to be around winners. So they want to see you succeed and grow and prosper. That's why a lot of times I love the word mentor. You know, mentors are amazing to have. People that can give you counsel. You know, not a counselor per se, but just counsel. They can, you know, they can sit with you and listen, and they don't have to give you all the answers, but they just listen to you, and then, you know, everything is timing. So when the time is right, they give you not the answer, but they give you the train of thought so that you can see as you're speaking what the answer is. You know, that's what I like. I like to be around mentors and people who give you counsel, people who can sit with you, you know, while you're dealing with life, and they don't always have to have anything to say about it. They just riding with you. They just riding with you. They just think of a car. They just in the passenger seat, you know. Or when you get tired and you don't feel like you can go anymore, they switching seats with you. They say, hey, you sit in the passenger seat, let me drive, you know, so you can rest up, charge up. You know, for all my people who's traveling across land, you know, people going from, I don't know, I'm here in Florida to California. I don't know. Could be, you know, or people, you know, New York to Chicago, Chicago to Texas. I don't know. Like, it could be a lot of people that get me, you know, like you could be, you might could be a person that could drive 10 hours, 14 hours, you know, but because you have that person that's riding with you, they know they like this. They like this. Yo, switch seats, man. Get some rest. Put your phone on the charger. Put your phone on the charger. Go get you something. Drink you some water. Over there, I'm going to take over. I'm going to gas up and I'm going to take over. Boom. Or, you know, some of y'all could be your partner. Could be your lady. Or it could be your man, you know. Ladies, it could be a man. Man, it could be a lady. Saying, hey, get some rest. Let me take over. Let me, you know. And so this portal is real that we stepped into. This portal that we stepped out of. We knew we needed to go into it because the way that season was looking last year this time, or 2 years ago this time, it just seemed like it was too good to be true, and it just seemed like it was more to life, and it just seemed like everybody wanted you to swim with the current, you know. But you know, for all my people who live near rivers and streams and like waterfalls, we all know the strongest fish swim against the current. Because listen, everything they need is at the top of the waterfall. So they down here at the bottom, they know I'm swimming upstream. I'm going up, and I'm gonna go see what this body of water got going on up here, because I done already conquered down there. Y'all can stay down there, or y'all could come with me, you know. And it's just a matter of, you knew it was time for that change because you pretty much conquered everything you could have ever conquered in that time. There is actually no reason for you to even be operating over there anymore, because you know, I'm getting bored. I'm getting tired of this. The people are gonna leave me. they're gonna, I love, I forget what song it was. Erica Badu said, she said, something like, you're gonna miss the mothership. Like, you don't want to miss the mothership. I don't care how far the spaceship could fly. Eventually, it needs to dock inside the mothership. It needs to dock and rest, and they can get out their spaceship and walk around inside the mothership, and the mothership going to take them to other sides of the galaxy. So you don't want to miss the, your mark. And I was also saying too, and I'm gonna get up out of here soon, but I was saying too in one of my other videos, you're never gonna miss your opportunity. So if I apologize if I brought any fear into the equation. It's just a matter of motivation. Because if you felt like you always had time, a lot of us, we wouldn't do it. And so that motivation is a very key factor on being early. Because when you early, you on time, and when you on time, you running late. Because you never know if you don't try, but you always know if you try. You're gonna always know that I did my best, and plus I showed up early. And so, that last season, you did everything you could possibly do. You conquered everything. You done been, which way the wind blow over there, so on and so forth. So you say, you know what, let me go into this portal. And now you're stepping out as your truest version. You're stepping out with more confidence. You always had the confidence. It's more refined. It's more unwavering. Like no one can say something to you and now you feel less. No one can do anything to you. No one can do anything to you when you feel like you're being held back 5 or 10 years, or whatever with, the creativity. So you're at a place where you're more grounded and you're more centered in yourself, and you're working on yourself. You're doing a lot of the inner work. And you don't have to heal because you've already healed in the other season, because that's why you're here in this season of what you're doing, because you wouldn't have seen the door if you still had to heal back then. If you had to heal, you would have been focusing on healing there. So now we over here, and the portal, how it's being shown to me, as you step out of the portal, it disappears. There's no opportunity to go back to that. There's no opportunity. Why would you want to go back? What are you going to learn if you go back? Go back there for what? What for what? You don't want to spend all your time doing one thing, because you're not going to evolve, you're not going to grow. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that song, I hope I say her name right, but she dropped a song in, like, I think it was like 2000 or 2001, Amel LaRue or something like that. And she said, I know you get down, but when you gon' get up, you know what I mean? Like, I love that because, yeah, like, you be down. Yeah, life is hard. Yeah, life, excuse me for being, rude, but life kicked you in the face. It hurt. Oh, man, my face. I'm hurting. Let me just sit here. But then it's like you get this click. It's like, yo, when am I going to get up and do it? When am I going to get up and really grind? When am I going to show my true potential, what I could really potentially be? You never know how your relationships are going to show up in life if you're not at your truest potential. You know that, right? You experience the best friendships, the best love, the best money when you are your truest version, right? Just saying. Things work for you when you are your truest version. When you get up and you do what you got to do for yourself, and you show up for yourself. You don't let the person that you are down. It's not about anybody else, especially in this season. this season right now, people are dependent on you to be authentically real and true with yourself, so that because they know you're gonna inspire them. They know that you're gonna always reach back and bring them up. They know it because they know your heart. That's why they riding with you. I just made the analogy earlier about passenger seats and driver seats. And if you're blessed enough to have a car full of people and they all want to pitch in with the driving, all y'all got to worry about is gas and and we know the tires. The tires got rotated before the trip started. You know what I mean? The tires got rotated before the trip started. That car got oiled. That car got the oil changed before the trip started. Only thing you got to worry about is squeegeeing the windows at the gas station. Let's go, man. And so, I don't know, man. It's just we are. Even if I just stop the sentence right there, we are. That's it. Put whatever you want in front of that. We are. We are successful. We are winning. We are unstoppable. We are unbreakable. We are. And congratulations, you made it. Now let's see what else we can accomplish. I'll meet y'all at the top. Peace and love. Namaste.